The message arrived on a Tuesday afternoon, delivered by a solemn, silk-suited solicitor. I had inherited a *** villa in Tuscany, *** and *** to rent, generating apartments in London, *** left to me by an eccentric, distant cousin I hadn't spoken to in 50 years. The sheer, life-altering scale of the fortune, easily worth over $8 million, sent a dizzying shock through me. My first, most instinctive thought was not about retiring early or buying a yacht. It was about my daughter, Sarah, I immediately packed a bottle of her favorite expensive wine and drove straight to her house, eager to share this unbelievable, transformative news. I wanted to see her face light up, to tell her that all her money worries were over. But as I approached the porch, the front door was ajar, and I heard Sarah's voice, clear and cold, talking to her husband, Michael. I froze, wine bottle clutched in my hand, as she sneered, The old fool won't last much longer. We just need to keep faking the sympathy for a few more months until we get our hands on that retirement account. She's too senile to notice what we're doing. The fortune I was about to gift her meant nothing compared to the shock of her cold, calculated betrayal. My daughter, the person I loved and trusted most in the world, was actively waiting for me to die and planning to steal my small, existing retirement fund. Was I wrong to walk away silently, leaving the news of the villa and the 2 apartments unspoken, and instead use my new, massive wealth to expose and destroy the greedy foundation of her entire life? Tell me, if your deepest act of generosity was met by such monstrous, premeditated greed, would you still share the fortune, or would you use it as the ultimate weapon? My name is Daniel ***, and I am 72 years old. I live a modest, comfortable life built around a career as a retired economics professor. My wife passed away 5 years ago, leaving me with a decent, but not extravagant, retirement fund, about $500,000, which was managed in a joint account with Sarah, set up years ago for convenience and trust. Sarah is 45, outwardly charming and successful, working as a regional manager for a retail chain. Her husband, Michael, is a real estate agent, a profession that seems to amplify his natural inclination toward avarice. For the past year, Sarah and Michael had ramped up their attention to me, weekly calls, unsolicited help with my investments, and constant, overly saccharine check-ins about my health. I found it touching, though a little exhausting. Now, hearing Sarah's chilling words, I understood it wasn't love that drove those visits. It was morbid, impatient greed fueled by the desire for my $500,000. I stood there, paralyzed, straining to hear the rest of their conversation. Michael chuckled. "Did you reauthorize the quarterly management fees on the joint account again? Every little bit helps. She won't question the small withdrawals. She barely looks at the statements." "Of course I did," Sarah replied, the sneer audible in her tone. "It's practically ours already. We just need to finalize that power of attorney next month. Then, when she finally kicks it, it'll be a seamless transfer into the new trust." The new trust was news to me. They weren't just waiting for me to pass. They were actively draining my existing funds and planning to legally snatch the rest using fraudulent documents. The depth of the scheme, the planning, the professional language was staggering. This wasn't a sudden lapse. This was a sustained, calculated campaign of elder financial abuse and emotional deception. I quietly set the bottle of wine down on the porch mat, turned around, and drove home. The grief was overwhelming, heavier than the joy of the inheritance. I had lost my only daughter, replaced by a coal, died thief. I didn't utter a word about the villa or the apartments. My first task was to secure the $500,000 they were targeting. I called my long-time lawyer, **MS, Hayes **, who specializes in fiduciary law. I told her the whole agonizing truth, starting with the conversation I overheard. Ms. Hayes acted immediately. We transferred the entire $500,000 retirement fund to a new, single-owner account, simultaneously freezing the old joint account and removing Sarah's access entirely. I explained that I didn't want to confront them yet. I wanted the evidence to be overwhelming. My next step was securing the inheritance. The solicitor confirmed the details. The **Tuscan villa ** was an ancestral property worth $6 million, and the ** 2 London flats * generated over $10,000 a month in rental income. The transfer was clean and quiet. Suddenly, I wasn't just safe. I was one of the wealthiest men in my social circle, possessing assets they knew nothing about. I began to develop my revenge, which I called Operation Tuscan Silence. The goal was not just to punish them, but to make their avarice consume them entirely. Sarah and Michael, unaware of their failure to steal the $500,000 and completely ignorant of my new $8 million fortune, continued their charade. The visits became more frequent, the sympathy more cloying. They kept asking about my health, pushing for that power of attorney document. I played the role of the frail, forgetful father perfectly, signing innocuous documents for them while stalling on the POA. I used my new, vast liquidity to start my counter-operation. Michael was a real estate agent, obsessed with controlling the local market. I began quietly purchasing local commercial properties he desperately needed for his large, high-commission sales. Not through me, but through an ** anonymous shell company, ** managed by MS. Hayes. I outbid him, often at the last minute, causing him to lose several massive commissions that he needed to service his own high-interest debt. Then came the centerpiece of the revenge, the villa. The Tuscan villa needed expensive restoration. I created a large, fictitious restoration fund under the same shell company and instructed MS. Hayes to hire a famous, high-profile ** Italian restoration architect **. This architect's work was covered by an obscure, exclusive European trade journal, which I knew Michael, in his professional vanity, subscribed to. I wanted the news of the villa to reach them, not as a gift, but as a ghost of a fortune they could have had. So that's the situation I was in. My daughter and her husband were actively draining my existing retirement fund and planning to forge power of attorney, completely unaware that I had secretly inherited an $8 million Tuscan villa and 2 income-generating apartments. I had already secured my existing money and was using my new wealth to sabotage Michael's real estate deals. Before I tell you how I unveiled the truth and destroyed their scheme, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have sold the properties and simply vanished? Or would you have used the villa as bait to expose their final act of greed? I chose to use the villa as bait. I wanted them to see the prize, reach for it, and have it yanked away permanently. The moment the feature on the Italian restoration architect appeared in the trade journal, titled ****, The Secret Renaissance of a Tuscan Gem, ***, Michael saw it. The property photos were unmistakable. A huge, crumbling, historic villa on a hillside near Florence. Michael is a relentless researcher of wealth, and he quickly traced the new ownership back to the anonymous shell company managed by MS. Hayes. He then used his contacts to trace the company's registration to a bank in Switzerland. He came to my house that Saturday, practically shaking with excitement, but trying to maintain his mask of false sympathy. Daniel, my research led me to something fascinating. I found an old, massive Italian villa bought by an anonymous entity. He began, dropping hints about the eccentric distant family. He was practically begging me to admit I was the owner. I played the fool. A villa? Oh, Michael, how lovely. I wish I knew people that rich. Then Sarah joined the discussion, her eyes burning with greed. Dad, we talked about that power of attorney. It's really time. You need us to manage your affairs. If you had money, Michael and I would take such good care of it. This was the moment. I sat back, the sweet wine from the unopened bottle now flowing through my veins. The truth is, Sarah, I said, my voice suddenly clear and steady, I was going to come over and tell you myself, but then I overheard your little conversation about my senility and the seamless transfer of my money. Sarah's face went white. Michael froze, his jaw slack. I know everything. I continued calmly. I know about the quarterly withdrawals. I know about the new trust. And I know why you suddenly cared so much about my health. I then dropped the first bomb. Unfortunately, your power of attorney won't be needed, Sarah. 2 weeks ago, I moved the entire $500,000 retirement fund to a new account that only I control. You wasted your last year faking affection for nothing. The atmosphere in the room turned toxic. Sarah started screaming that I was an ungrateful liar. I waited for the noise to die down and dropped the final, defining bomb. And yes, Michael, you are a great researcher. That villa in Tuscany, the one undergoing restoration, it is mine, as are the 2 high-end rental apartments in London that generate significant income. I paused, letting the full weight of the $8 million fortune sink in. I came here that day to give it all to you, I whispered, holding their stunned gazes. The villa, the apartments, the income. I wanted to tell you all your worries were over, but you taught me the ultimate lesson. I don't have a daughter, I have a thief, and a thief can never be trusted with a vault. I handed Michael an envelope containing a single document, the *** final, failed transfer report *** for the property he tried to acquire the previous week, signed by MS. Hayes's shell company. You lost your real estate deals because I bought the property you needed. I own the market now, Michael, and you are done. The climax ended not with shouting, but with their total, crushed silence. They had traded a sure $8 million inheritance and a loving father for the slim chance of stealing $500,000, and they failed even at that. The aftermath was satisfyingly complete. Sarah and Michael are now financially unstable. Michael lost his job due to the string of high-profile, inexplicable losses. Their marriage is reportedly on the rocks. They attempted to sue me for breach of trust, but MS. Hayes had prepared an airtight case regarding their conspiracy to commit elder fraud. They were shut down and publicly humiliated by the local press. I sold the London flats and established a major, anonymous university scholarship in my late wife's name. I now live 6 months a year in the Tuscan villa, which is an oasis of genuine peace and beauty. My life is rich, secure, and quiet. I lost a daughter, but I gained back my self-respect and proved that even an old professor knows how to execute a complex economic counter-attack. The only thing I regret is not overhearing that conversation sooner. Like this video, if you believe the greatest revenge is watching greed consume the greedy. Subscribe for more stories where fortunes are given and taken away. Share your final thoughts on Sarah and Michael's choice in the comments section below. I'll see you all in the next story.